Hi everyone, this is Arjuna. Oh, sorry. Hi everyone, this is Arjuna, aka Professional High Priestess, and I'm here to do another quick channeled message for you all. And this quick channeled message is why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. So a few messages. Why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. One, because of the transits. The South Node being in Sagittarius, as well as the South Node going to be moving into Scorpio, but it's already in Scorpio in Vedic. And those two specific signs, Scorpio rules over the occult, it rules over groups, covens, things like that, as well as power and the use of power, as well as sexual energy. Okay, Sagittarius rules over the ninth house of philosophy, wisdom, various cultures, travel, spirituality, all those type of things, right? Religion as well. Because the South Node is about past life karma and energies we need to move away from. What's happening is a lot of individuals, they're stuck in their South Node overall, regardless of what sign it's in. And because they're stuck in their South Node on an individual level, it's manifesting as them also being stuck in the South Nodes as well. So that South Node in Sagittarius, misuse and abuse of the philosophy of different cultural systems, indigenous systems, right? Blindly jumping into any type of practice, right? For power and for association or affiliations with power. South Node in Scorpio, the misuse and abuse of the occult for power, the misuse and abuse of sex as a form of magicianry and witchcraft, and misuse of sorcery for control over others. So because of this, what's happening right now, why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high, is because a lot of individuals are embodying those low vibrating energies, and because they are not doing their work, they're manifesting the low vibrational aspects of those signs. All right. On another hand, we also have, that we are on this land that we're living on is a lot of indigenous African people, indigenous native folks, native folks who were also Black, right? Like Queen Khalifa, and you think about the Seminole Indians and things like that. They were massacred on this land. Okay, you guys, look at my arm. Look how I'm getting those goosebumps. They were massacred on this land. And because they were massacred on this land, their energy is still in this land. And there was never any rectification or reparations, right? So the energy is just continuing to cycle itself. Even if you build concrete jungles, even if you tear it down and you build new concrete jungles on top of the old concrete jungles, which is gentrification, that energy is still in the land. And I want to remind you guys of the story of the Cabrini Green projects in Chicago with Candyman, and how he was buried. He was buried under the place that they now call the Cabrini Green projects, right? And think about that whole story of Candyland. Because a lot of that energy is still in the land, and those ancestors are angry because the way that they died was violent. The way that they were killed on this land was violent. They were never given their just due. They died in injustice. They died with unfairness. They are angry ancestors. Okay. Then on top of that, think about the subsequent things that have happened in the last, 100 years. We had Jim Crow. We had the war on drugs. We had the Bracero program. We had the Chinese Exclusion Acts. We had all these different things that continue to amplify the trauma that was already in the land because more trauma was being put on the land. Then think about this. You guys remember all the different, children that they're finding in Canada, right? Think about that too. That energy is still in the land. Think about that. If that's just in Canada, what do you think? What do you think about in the Americas? Think about how more prevalent it was in the Americas. And then there's more people here too, So because we're looking at that, people operating out of the South Node, then we're looking at the generational ancestral trauma that is still in the land that is not being properly transmuted. Then on top of that, we're talking about low vibrating karmics that are opening portals with witchcraft and spell work. And rituals and shit like that, attacking divine people and just attacking themselves, calling on different type of entities and things like that are not a match for the planetary frequency of where we need to go. That's why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. Another reason why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high is because the ancestors want the karmics to basically run out of fume. They want them to run out of steam. So by the time the tower hits, the real tower hits, when they have to deal with the greys and the reptilians in the form of principality, they won't have anywhere to go. They won't have any energy. But that's also too how the Most High is cleaning house. So while it looks like there's a bunch of chaos going on, and when is things going to get better? Why is it going like this? If you really look beneath the surface, this chaos is organized if you pay attention to the transits, right? But on top of that, this is how the Most High is cleaning out house so that we can move into new earth without all these low-vibing karmics trying to, jump into new earth too and repropagate. Basically, that's what they say in forestry or agriculture, repropagate. When a seed or pollen floats to another piece of the land or something like that and repropagates or repollinates itself. There you go. So the biggest thing right now for all of us is to realize, okay, if you are going under spiritual attack, it may not get better, but you are actually going to be given tools and support in order for you to handle it as if it's not an issue for you, right? Because a lot of you guys are going to be moving to the next level, new devils. On top of that, a lot of these karmics are also reaping a lot of past life karma because of the transits that we're in right now, specifically regarding the use of witchery and things like that, sorcery, spell work, misuse and abuse of philosophy, initiations that they should not have been getting involved in, affiliations with certain principalities that are coming down, especially with the different Capricorn transits that we've had, the grand trine with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter and Capricorn. It's a lot of cleaning house right now. And it may look like a lot of chaos and the karmics are winning. And why aren't they getting their karma? They are getting their karma. Look at the things that they're doing. Do you think that they're happy, that they're sane people, that they're balanced, that they're complete within themselves? They're not. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing, because they're not happy with themselves. So they're engaging in those activities, not knowing that they're being ran by a principality. That's another thing here too. A lot of the spiritual warfare is enhancing because a lot of individuals are so low vibrational, they don't know that they're being used as a conduit by the principalities to wage warfare on us light workers who are supposed to be ushering in new earth. They think that they can stop new earth. They can't. That's the thing with the principalities. It's children of Shed, children of unsuccessful rebellion. And it's 188 people in the chat as I say this. So let's go inside and let's see what's this about. Dear bright and loving ancestors, you got spirituality right here. Yeah. Dear bright and loving ancestors, what messages do you have? This is why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. Another thing, like I talked about I talked about this a while ago in regards to like how in the Bay Area, it's a perfect example, right, of low vibrational karmics that do not do any type of ancestral healing, running public rituals and things like that, and that creating a big ass ripple effect that they cannot contain, right? Like for instance, San Francisco or Bay Area is on Ohlone land. But that's native land. And there's a lot of native people who are still in that land, buried in that land, right? They were punished on that land. They were traumatized on that land. And then you have low-vibing karmics that claim to be, those are my ancestors, that's their lineage, but they don't do any clearing work or healing work. They're just repropagating the trauma, repollinating the trauma. Then they're running public rituals and things like that, just only further activating low vibrational ancestors in their energy field, right? That are then causing bigger problems because now there's certain entities that people are calling on within the area, within whatever amount of radius, and because there's already dark energy being brought up to the surface, right, from the land, and then they're calling on low vibrational entities from Saturn or Uranus or Mars. It's a big ass party of demons. That's why you're going to see a lot of these karmics in the tower. You're going to see a lot of them get put into situations where they can no longer conjure or have access or anything like that because they're causing too many problems. But again, remember, if you pay attention, if you look under the hood, it's all by design. Dear bright and loving ancestors, you guys just had an earthquake 20 minutes ago. Didn't California also just have an earthquake like a week or two ago? Do you see what I'm talking about right now? It's 7:11 on the clock. What messages do you have? What messages do you have, please? Why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high? What messages do you have? The spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. It says health right here. Ooh, child. You got manifestation and karmic completion. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. But with this health card, in terms of why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high, didn't I tell you that the ancestors want the karmics to wear themselves out? Yeah, they want these karmics to wear themselves out. They want them to waste all their resources. They want them to play games. They want them to get sick from the magic, so that when the war really starts, that they're going to be the first one that gets swept away. When it's really time to clean house, when it's really judgment season, they're going to be the ones to get swept away. And they've logged it in their Akashic record. So it's like basically like a scan is going to go across the land. And if your vibration, if your heart is lighter, is heavier than a feather, basically, you're going to sink. And you're going to be a conduit to that scan. And then you're going to get hit with that scarlet letter. You're going to get hit with that mark of the beast. Or you're going to get hit with the mark of karma, a mark of judgment, and then you're going to be removed or put into spiritual jail. Manifestation. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, because these karmics are manifesting low vibrational outcomes, but this is also what their ancestors manifested too. That's another reason why, like I said, a lot of these karmics are only reactivating low vibrational ancestors that are using them as a vessel. You know, and I want to give an example. Like when I got when I dealt with one of the karmics that I dealt with, this European woman, I kind of started to see things that were going on. I started having all these different like past life recall when this stuff was going on, because her ancestors were slave owners. There was a woman in her line, a European woman, that wanted my energy, wanted my blood, because they're from a very low vibrational Moloch federation where they do child sacrifice. And this one had also come back into this reality doing the same thing with Planned Parenthood. Every other month getting pregnant, going to get abortions, and running rings, telling 4 to 5 different men that they're pregnant, cashing out a whole bunch of money. And I started to realize there was an ancestor that was in them that wanted my energy. It wasn't necessarily them, but because the magic that they played with had activated schizophrenia and psychosis, that ancestor, and because they do drug abuse and they play with all those rituals with Moloch, that ancestor was able and ready to come through. And then she was putting blood in these masculine's food and things like that. So then he started being used by that principality as well, you know. So I can see it firsthand. Cursed people. Some of you guys, the karmics that you're dealing with, it's not them that you're really dealing with. It's their low vibing ancestors. Especially if those of you who come from any type of indigenous like lineage. If you're European, if you're like well, I say European or white, you also can have an indigenous lineage, right? Like think about Bridget. Think about the Celtics. Think about the Druids. Think about the Nordics. The Fays as well, like fairy people, like, and those will be like the Swedish people, not Aryans, but you could tell them by someone had posted a video about the Fae. She used to be on YouTube Mana, Adelina Bond, and she was getting gang stalked. I'm getting a whole bunch of I'm getting a whole bunch of goosebumps. That's why another reason why she was also getting gang stalked, because our blood is like honey. You know, it's like there's 88 likes in the chat as I'm saying there's 288 people. Our blood, when they smell our blood, when they smell our DNA, it's like food to them, right? It's like if, let's say for instance, there's a dog and then all of a sudden it smells cooked meat. It's going to go crazy, right? So that's why some you guys get gang stalked and attacked and things like that. And I've noticed some of the, other divine feminists that are getting gang stalked and stuff like that because they also have indigenous blood. That's why. Your spirituality, they want the jewels in your DNA. It's high time right now for this fuckery. That's why a lot of these karmics are going even into energy harvesting rituals and trying to steal you and shift your destiny and playing with all kinds of stuff, trying to steal energy from you or debilitate your power and your energy because they want it for themselves because they're vampires. But it's the ancestors within them. That's why you got karmic completion here. Didn't I tell you that the Most High is like, look underneath the hood. It's actually I that's orchestrating a lot of this because we need this energy to be removed and cleared. It's like that in the Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna was saying that simple men, they call on demigods, not knowing that I control all those gods, right? The same thing with the Most High. They call on these demons and these entities or things like that, not knowing the Most High has control over all of that. So when it gets to critical mass and it's getting too toxic, what's going to end up happening? It started raining as I'm speaking. Confirmation, man. Confirmation. What's going to end up happening is the ancestors are coming to clean out house. They're coming to pour some water, pour the rain. The wave is on its way. And the wave is going to wash away all that dirt and that trash so that there's a new surface for us divine beings to build new earth on, right? And that's why a lot of us are being prepared right now, because some of us are going to be going into these different systems to rebuild the principalities, or you're going to be building tools and things like that to support people who are going to be working in those principalities. It's critical mass right now. Let's look into this. I'm going to use the African American tarot. Sing, sing, celebrate. Look, you got the Queen of Wands with the devil right there at the bottom. Man, as I picked up this deck, you got the Queen of Wands and the devil. It's not just the Queen of Wands principality. It's also the King of Wands principality. Toxic, karmic feminines and masculines as well. And another reason why a lot of this is happening too is because these ancestors, these karmics, by doing this, they're cursing their womb and they're cursing any children that they're going to have. So when they do have those children are not going to be strong enough to fight the spiritual war or to withstand the energy that's going to be on this planet. They're going to perish quickly, and that's how their bloodline is also going to be eliminated, right? So that's another thing that I'm picking up on here, you know. And then even if you look at that devil, it looks like two small children being bound, right? And that's another reason why this is happening, for these karmics to curse themselves as well as curse their children to an early demise, to eliminate their bloodline early from the planet, so they cannot repopulate. Yeah, Eight of Swords, cursing into spiritual jail, like that hole in the movie 300, pushing them all the way in there so they can fall. Meanwhile, there's high vibrational ancestors keeping stock in the Akashic records, like, oh no, it's time for them to go to spiritual jail, because in this 1800s or 1700s, their ancestors did A, B, C, and D, and they're doing the same low vibrational fuckery now. So, oh, it's Eight of Swords for them. It's spiritual jail, real jail. Clarify spirituality. Oh, Two of Wands. Look at what the child right here, man. I told you. And then you got the bull right here, Uranus and Taurus energy. I told you those unexpected changes, also things coming up out of the land. That's another thing here too. The Two of Wands is like picking a path. And another reason why this is happening as well, why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high, you guys, is because the ancestors want the karmics to expose themselves. Ooh. The ancestors want these karmics to expose themselves. They want people to make a choice by engaging in whatever. They're like, no, you made your choice with the spirituality card. You made your bed, now you're going to lay in it. Because what's going to end up happening is a lot of these karmics, when they realize the sentencing, basically, that they've picked up from playing with whatever or waging whatever spiritual warfare out of stupidity, out of pettiness or whatnot, when we have real principalities that we're dealing with, what's going to end up happening is the ancestors are going to, they're going to start to find out, like, the sentence that they're getting, like, oh yeah, you stop, this is what's going to end up happening to you for doing this. And a lot of them cannot believe it, but that's the path that they chose. They made up their bed, now they're going to have to lay in it. And a lot of them don't like it, but that's not your fucking problem. At all. Another reason why this is happening is because a lot of you guys are to have spiritual children. And what's going to end up happening is by you kind of learning how to fortify yourself and cleaning out your DNA and all those type of things. It's like you're kind of getting like a head start to the clearing work that you need to do on your body to bring this child into this world in a healthy way. Okay, that's another thing that I'm seeing. But also, too, didn't I talk about karmics cursing their children? And look at how this man is in anguish looking down over this child, right? It's like a lot of these karmics too, some of the good ancestors as well are looking down like, how could you do something so foolish or so stupid? Another thing too, though, is it's like these karmics, by waging this spiritual warfare, they're giving you their gifts. They're giving you like whatever talent they may have had, or whatever platform that they may have had, or whatever opportunities or whatever resources. They're transferring it over to you by playing games. And that's how the ancestors are having it with the Two of Wands energy. Clarify health, please. Yeah, you got the Knight of Pentacles. Yep. This is also too these karmics getting slowed down. That you see, you guys, you see. Yeah, imagine not knowing about anything until you saw it in your dreams, right, Renan? It's true, or Renan or Renan. Look at this with the health and the Knight of Pentacles. Taurus energy as well. This also too is, remember I told you that a lot of these karmics, the ancestors want them to play because a lot of them are going to start getting sick, and that's going to slow them down and bring them to a complete halt with their finances, with whatever the fuck that they were doing. Whereas before they were in the Knight of Wands, that like low vibrational rage, doing anything like conflict and drama. Now the Knight of Pentacles is going to be here, and that's their health. And that's why a lot of these karmics that have maybe been trying to stop you or block you or plot and plan on you, a lot of them are going to come to find out that all they did was make themselves sick. Stress-related illness, DNA dysfunctions, whole chronic illnesses. Some of them are even getting cancers. because of what they were doing and what they're playing with. And that's how the Most High had it. And they're like, no, we want them to play with you so that so they can get sick. We want them to play with you so that they can get sick, so that now they have to spend all their money paying for appointments. Now they have to spend all their money going back and forth to treatments. I know it sounds hella crazy, and if you've had a sickness, I'm sending you so much love. And I'm not saying that the ancestors did that to you because you deserved it. 1, there could have been some work done on you. 2, there could have been a certain transit. 3, there could be something like trauma lodged in one of your chakras, okay? And you need to clear that out. It could be a block, an energy blockage, all right? But for the most part, especially because you guys know I do medical astrology with people and I see it all the time. But for the most part, though, this is like, these karmics induce this on their own. They induce this on their own, and that's how the Most High is going to have it. I feel something about like, man, I'm just going to be quiet about that. Hey, hey, hey! Look, can you guys see that rainbow? Look at that! Hey! Thank you so much, ancestors. Yeah, they're here with us now. Look, can you guys see that rainbow? I'm gonna take a picture. That was so beautiful. And this is how you know that this is a confirmation. I just have to take a picture. I just have to, because that's such a beautiful rainbow. Baby, you are all over my rainbow. You can make me click, making me pop. Okay, guys. Sorry, I know, like, I got so excited. 888, money is on the way. Powerful. So look. Please let me know if it's still buffering, okay? Hey, oh my God. You guys remember I talked about this the other day in the the Neptune retrograde about the leprechaun at the bottom of the leprechaun at the other end of the rainbow. So beautiful. This is so funny. But you want to know the funny thing is, just yesterday there was a fire in that exact area where the rainbow's protruding out of. So it's like after the tower, after the fire, after the storm, the rain comes. And then the rainbow, which is confirmation from the Most High. And didn't I just talk about these children, rainbow children, you guys? That's another reason why, because our ancestors, real talk, do not want these rainbow children or indigo children being damaged by trauma, by karmics, by fuckery. That's why they're cleaning out house, because these children have we have a destiny beyond this planet and even beyond this specific galaxy. And this is the training ground. And it's like, we don't need that. We don't need all that bullshit, because we got other shit that we need to deal with. Yeah, Hermit energy. Hermit and the star. And that's why another thing too, a lot of you guys are going to be having children right now. They're going to have very powerful spiritual guides with the star card and the hermit. But another two, with the star card and the hermit energy right here, this is also you too, you guys as well. When I talked about like these karmics playing with certain things, they are conjuring certain entities that are coming into their field to fuck them up because of what they're playing with. And that's how the ancestors are going to have it. Didn't I talk about health as well? How they're going to be fucking up their health? Oh my God, my nails like match the color of this paper. This is so dope. Sorry. I just had like a moment. Okay. The whole universe is leveling up. Exactly. Yeah, 10 of Swords. Didn't I tell you these karmics are cursing themselves? DNA damage, chronic illnesses, all that type of stuff. Look at Sobek right there with the body of a lion. Yeah, mutations as well, because that's a fucking mutant. A lion, a crocodile with the body of a lion. Okay, mutations. A lot of these karmics are mutating themselves, and that's what I'm saying. When they have their children are going to be weakened. 444 people in the chat as I say this, and they're not going to be able to withstand the energies on this planet. And that's how the ancestors know. It's like they're kind of like eliminating their own gene pool. We kind of want them to do that. Don't even give them the keys to the streets. Let them keep on playing. That's what my guys are saying. That's what the ancestors are saying right here. That's what my guys are telling me as well. Clarify manifestation. You got the World card, cycle of Saturn, and the 9 of Swords. But this with the manifestation too, and also this is another thing as well. Some of these karmics with the spiritual warfare, it kind of had to go like this because in your town or your city or your family or your school or whatnot, people need to sue who the narcissist or who the witches or the sociopaths or whatever, because spiritual warfare is not just not just witchcraft. It's also dealing with sociopaths and narcissists, and because they bring they embody a certain type of polarizing frequency that spreads spiritual sickness through the mind. So they may not have to use witchcraft, but just because of the way that they act, they can spread spiritual sickness and illness to people, you know, because of their fucking behavior. So it's that as well with the Nine of Swords, psychological dysfunction. Nine of Swords is dark night of the soul, things like that, vicious gossip and things like that too. But the guides, the ancestors actually want this to happen. Why? Because they want people to see they want to make an example out of karmics. They want to make an example out of karmics. They want to show Nine of Swords is also trauma. This is what happens when you don't clear out your trauma. Look at toxicity right there. Yeah. Motherfuckers running around with masks on, causing problems. People want to see who the ancestors are. Also, like, people need to see who the real animals are, who the real monsters are. You know, we want them to see, because a lot of people are good at wearing masks and shape shifting right here with the snake. And that's why you see the ancestors sitting right there, like this is a whole fucking turntable, mastering all this shit. Like, now I'm in control of all this shit with the serpent right there, like going all around the globe, planting or activating the serpent DNA that these karmics have within their bloodline, but also activating your kundalini in order for you to raise that energy up from the root chakra up through the crown. Another reason why this is happening is the ancestors too are going to be marking a lot of these karmics and marking a lot of these masculines, so that divine people can smell them a mile away, because they are going to be marked with the serpent type of energy, of the low vibrational serpent energy, so that you don't reproduce with them. And anybody that chooses to reproduce with them is going to be cursed. So it's like, didn't I tell you that the ancestors are orchestrating all of this stuff? The Most High, the Ascended Masters, God is orchestrating all of this stuff. I'm telling you, that rainbow was a perfect omen. Now it's gone. I'm so happy we got a photo of that. Let me Google what the meaning of a rainbow. But divine feminine, that's another reason why they were trying to take you off the game. Because as you see that the ancestors are spinning this wheel and the serpent principality is trying to take over, it's like, nah, we got control of this. But because a lot of these, like I said, they can smell your energy, and they know, okay, if she's just one and she gets with another one that's like her, they can have hella children that can take out all this stuff. Because that's what the principality is thinking. If we let them live, or if we let them continue, or if we don't break them down or make them dysfunctional or get them wrapped up with karmic fuckery, then they're going to be too powerful, and they're going to figure out the game, and they're going to create children that are also going to figure out the game. That's what this is right here. That's why you got the baby boy right there. Yeah, you got the principality right there. Like, fuck. How did this happen? The Messiah is back. That's the type of shit right there. On some Yeshua shit right here. For real, for real. I got my Yeshua 11s. Ooh. I'm going to take a picture tomorrow. Clarify karmic completion, please. You got the Five of Swords. Perfect. And you got the Empress. Good. Now, with the Five of Swords and the karmic completion, for a lot of you guys, the warfare is going to be coming to an end. Because what's going to end up happening is, remember, you guys are being used as bait by the Most High, right? Kind of how, I was going to say, this man sitting here with this snake, you're kind of being used as bait. It's like the ancestors are like, okay, well, we're going to have like all these people come towards you, but we got this under control. So we're watching the whole time. We're just going to act like we're not watching, you're not protected, and no one's supporting you and shit like that. But you got a whole legion of ascended masters and ancestors and angels and guides supporting you. So we're going to allow this fuckery to continue, but don't worry, because we got the keys to the streets. And when we say it's over, it's over. That's what I'm saying right here. Remember, because you were being used as bait for these people to do whatever the fuck that they thought they were going to do. They ended up getting themselves defeated, right? Now this illness energy is right here. Now, something that I'm also picking up here too with this Five of Swords energy is in regards to the karmic completion. Like I said, for a lot of you guys, the drama is over, the warfare is over, because these karmics, like I said, they're going to be so preoccupied with trauma and drama that they curated for themselves. Karma in regards to like their health and their finances, you guys. And they're going to be so embedded with trauma as well that they're not going to have any time to fuck with you. Some of these karmics are even going to be put in prison. Dark night of the soul, Knight of Swords, but also Eight of Swords energy, prison, or they're going to be in such a dark night of the soul. They're not even going to have the courage. They're not even going to have the fucking balls, okay, to start playing games with you, because they're going to realize what their problem is, and it's them. That's why you got the Empress right here with the karmic completion, because you are the Empress. You know, you've transcended all the queens, and now you become the Empress. That's another reason why this is happening, in order for you to become the master alchemist, because remember, the Empress is she has all of the women in the tarot inside of her. She has the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the High Priestess. She encompasses all. So that's another reason why this had to happen. And there you have the owl right there representing Athena, the goddess. So this is another reason why this had to happen, in order to take you to the next level of your spirituality. Yeah, I'm getting so many goosebumps and chills right now too. My goodness, this is so many confirmations, you all. So many confirmations from the Most High, because I feel like a lot of you guys are like maybe scared, or maybe you guys are like tired. And I know what it's like to wake up. Like, is today the day that I really get on this karmics level? Is today the day that I lose my fucking head? Is today the days that I go fucking bonkers? Is today the day that I turn this shit into Planet of the Apes? I know how you guys feel. I know just how you feel, but this time love's for real. But you want to know something though? Like, the ancestors or the Most High ancestors, God, they're orchestrating all this. Ascended masters, because they work in unison. They're orchestrating all of this, you guys, in order to clear out the way. And you see the Empress sitting on the water. Purity here. And you know, the elephant represents Ganesha too, removal of obstacles, but the elephant also represents the mother energy, queen of the jungle, right? Empress of the jungle, whereas the lion will be the emperor energy, right? Thank you so much for the super chat. So in this instance, with this energy right here, it's like, it's these ancestors are moving away obstacles for you, but creating obstacles for these karmics so that they can learn what it's like to need to stay in their lane. That's what's happening right now. And that's how the ancestors are also, like I said, they're weakening them so that they don't have time moving forward. Oh, KTM, I'm going to contact you. My apologies. I've just been so backed up. And for those of you who have emailed me, I'll get back to you. Also, I'm doing the, what's this called? The shadow work session at 9 p.m. tonight on Patreon. Look at the Eight of Swords, you guys. Look at this, Book of Monsters. I'm telling you, the Book of Monsters has been closed. All pages are in the Book of Monsters, and this Book of Monsters is getting ready to be set on fire, never to be opened again, you all. I'm telling you, that's how the ancestors are going to have this shit. Yeah, Seven of Wands, these karmics are blocked. They're blocked from you because you're spiritually protected. That's another reason why this is happening too. But the ancestors also wanted you to learn about how to protect yourself and care for yourself and build your intuition and trust your spiritual gifts. What's the spirituality? Clarify spirituality with the Two of Wands. You got the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Yeah, self-satisfaction. But this is also too like, with the Nine of Cups also like blood magic and things like that. I told you, like, with this, a lot of these karmics are gonna have to start making choices, because you see the baby there, they're 300. It's 33 minutes and 33 seconds on the chat when I said that they're sacrificing their children to play games. And that's, like I said, that's how the ancestors wanted it, because even if you see the potion box, there are bullets right there. Yeah, these karmics are just, basically what they're doing is the gun is pointed at themselves. I think it's pointed at you. And every time they cast a spell, they don't know that they're basically putting a hole in like their Cashapp records, or in the legacy of one of their future children or grandchildren or something like that. And that's why this is happening, so that they can destroy their bloodline and their legacy, to have it removed early from the planet. What's the world? And because moving forward in the future, your energy is your access, not how much money you have, things like that. It's going to be your energy and your ancestry and your spirituality that's going to dictate your access. What's the world card in the Nine of Swords? Manifestation. Yeah. The Ten of Swords. I'm telling you, this Ten of Swords energy, I told you with the manifestation card here, some of these ancestors, like, they wanted this to happen because so these karmics to take themselves out the game. Because, you know, the Ten of Swords is a death. It's a harsh, painful ending. That's why this is happening as well. Another thing here too, with the North Node being in Gemini, that's why this is also happening right now, because these karmics are picking up those energies. 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. That's why this is happening right now. That's why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. The Most High is like, no, the transits are set up for them to curse themselves, you guys. Pay attention. You don't have to do anything, divine being. We're just using you as bait because we know how you make these bitches go ape shit. We know how you turn these bitches into apes fighting over bananas. We see how you turn these karmic masculines or whatever the fuck into Neanderthals, things like that. We want them to behave like that so they can curse themselves or take themselves out the game. 10 of Swords. Then you got the 10 and the 10 karmic completions. Clarify, Empress. You got the 2 of Pentacles, yeah, bubble and boil with the cauldron, and that's what the karmic completion right here. That's what I'm saying with the 2 of Pentacles, also poor hustling. A lot of these karmics are going to be like fucked off with financially, and that's what the ancestors want. They want that to happen so that they can be removed. They want that to happen so they don't have any money for spell work. So they want that to happen so that they maybe have to move from your immediate area or something like that because they can't pay rent or some shit like that. So they leave so they can focus on, okay, I can't be playing with witchcraft every day and trying to make money. They're gonna have to make a choice. It's 511 and 511 people in the chat, 211 people like, 211 likes. Let's see what the meaning, the meaning of a rainbow. Inner awakening. Yeah. It says a sign of blessings. Wow. Good luck. So there we go. Let's see, angel. Let's see what this means. 511 means new beginnings in your life. Karmic changes are happening or have already begun. You guys, we can't make this stuff up, man. We can't make this stuff up. We can't make this stuff up. Now let's see what 211 is about. 211 is a robbery. Teamwork, diplomatic self-determined and endeavors to build a secure foundation for the future. Didn't I tell you that this is happening because the ancestors want us to have a firmer foundation for the future? For our legacy, for the earth in general, and for the galaxy that we're a part of. Yeah, that's why this is happening, you guys, because the ancestors are basically like clearing out house so that we can build up the new, removing the principality so that we can build up the new. What's this, Empress and the 5 of Swords? Karmic completion. You have the 5 of Swords again. Yeah, but this is also 6 of Wands. Sing, celebrate with victory here. That's another thing too. A lot of you guys are going to come to the realization that, like I said, your battle is over. Now, new levels, new devils. But because you dealt with this, you can deal with anything. Now you're going to go deeper into like, okay, let me go deeper into my meditative practice, or my prayer practice, or my literature practice. You know, there's a certain like a framework for life where there are certain practices. There's 9 specific in Buddhism. There's 8 specific practices. Like it's the what is this thing called? The right path. The 8-fold path. I put that in the book club a while ago. So you guys, if you're in the book club, go pull that back up. 8 ways of living, right speech, right action, right relation, all that type of stuff. So there's like, you guys are going to be going into how to improve each of those areas every day by doing like maybe that 8-fold path, right? That's a powerful way to start. Clarify health in the King and the Knight of Pentacles. You got the Queen of Wands, I'm telling you right now. Ace of Swords, yep, with the werewolf energy, they're caught up. That's why the ancestors are doing this, so they can get put in cages, so they can't cause any drama or fuckery or chaos, so we can go out and do what we need to do. It's 555 people in the chat. I said that, and 222 likes. Who, we're hitting these numbers today. That's why this is happening, you all. To build a firm new foundation, to end karmic cycles for good permanently with the World's card here. End of a karmic cycle, end of karmic lessons here. But not just for you, but this is globally. This is for our species as a whole. We don't need to learn this lesson anymore. We're done. We already know what's going on. All right? That's why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high, you guys. They know it's time. They know it's over. They can't feed all of us anymore. They can't do anything. The ancestors are going to be bringing hell and hot water into these karmics' lives so that they can focus on the things that actually matter, right? And that's another thing too. It's like the ancestors are going to be putting these karmics into fucked up situations so that we can do the light work necessary to clean up the land, to clean up the skies, to clean up, with nature, to clean up our communities. Because it's like we can't do both. It's like you can't be somebody that's trying to help in the community with the kids and people who may be on drugs or the elderly, and then you're dealing with all the spiritual warfare and principalities. No, it's like we have to focus on like what's going to bring the most the most change with the least resources and things like that. And that's dealing with the people and waking them up. These karmics are creating drama and fucking shit off, and it's a waste of time. Starting spiritual warfare over your energy, over jealousy and things like that. When we have children that we need to be healing and saving and teaching, how to be light workers and stuff like that. Because a lot of people that should be light workers, they're not on their path because there's deliberate obstacles being put in their place to keep them in sleep. Yes. Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin. Where are you, Kuan Yin? Let me get my Kuan Yin deck out. Oh, here she goes right here. Kuan Yin. I'm telling you guys, you can always get confirmation here. And for some of you guys too, that's why the ancestors are saddling these karmics, some of your karmics with karmic children, so they can go focus on their fucking kids and going to the wake office and getting things started for getting things ready for children and all that type of stuff, so they can stop playing with fucking witchcraft. But some of that shit is gonna fall on deaf ears. But then again, like I said, it has a certain purpose too, to get their bloodline off planet Earth permanently. That's another thing too, because if you're playing with witchcraft and you're not, and the child, eventually you're gonna have to choose between feeding your child or doing counter work on somebody. And that's where a lot of these karmics are right now. And that's why they're suffering. And for some of them though, this is why this is happening in their life as well, because they are a danger to their children, and the ancestors have better plans for their kids. They want them to be a part of New Earth, so they're removing them from the karmics. So that like, no, we want those children to do better. So we're going to let the mom go do this and that, so these children can be raised elsewhere. For those of you who may not be with your children right now and there's things going on, I'm not saying that's for all of you, okay? But for some of you guys, again, you may be also moving forward when your children they get to come back into your world for that specific purpose, that they're with toxic people. What messages do you have, please? Because I understand like rich parents and rich baby daddies and they know judges and stuff like that. It happens all the fucking time. There's a lot of people that their children are with fucked off grandparents or toxic ass parents because the grandparents or the father or mother had money and they caused problems and things like that. Okay, so trust me, I get that, all right? So this is why this is happening, you guys, okay? Now you know. It's the ancestors orchestrating all this. Kuan Yin, what messages do you have for us? Why the spiritual warfare is at an all-time high? Kuan Yin, what messages do you have? Why spiritual warfare is at an all-time high? It says to the celestial mountain. Powerful. Okay, let's see what this is about. Number 41. Ooh. This is a mouthful. There are times when divine energy is needed to help us achieve our spiritual goals. When you do not feel completely in control of your destiny, the divine is usually gifting you with an opportunity to reach for assistance and to invoke divine power, to call to the celestial mountain so that you may be gifted with the far superior outcome. Your permission to beings that love you unconditionally to offer you help is an expression of spiritual empowerment. You empower those forces to come to your aid and help you manifest your life purpose and destiny. Exactly. You have the assistance necessary. And another thing too, why this is happening is like for you guys to realize that you were never alone and you had support and love and care the whole time, and to recognize your spiritual power as well as your spiritual rank with the ascended masters, you all. To no longer be playing willy-nilly or allowing like your past experiences to make you feel like, who am I to call on the ancestors? Why doesn't no one love me or care about me? To really understand who you are. To get that boost, not just an ego boost, but like a boost in terms of like who you are spiritually. That's why this is happening as well. And this is also too, remember we talked about this because the ancestors are using it because you know how to take out the principalities. You are being asked to empower the divine to help you, to call to the celestial mountain within your own heart, to reach out and allow the divine to assist your current life unfoldment. Do not believe that asking for help will mean that you will grow weak or dependent and not grow spiritually. This is also what we're talking about too, in regards to like the ancestors are orchestrating all this, so you don't have to worry about the outcome. You will discover that your divine self is a powerful living expression of the source of the universe, you guys. Yes. That's why this is happening, for you guys to recognize and see your power, so that you can remove yourself from karmics, so that you can see the red flags, so that you can have better discernment. Ooh, powerful. So you all, that's what I have for you for a quick channel message. This is why this is happening. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy that. Have a great day. Bye.